and welcome to the Smart Science Measuring video about elastic collisions with changing mass. Now, in this lab, we're doing something a little bit different with the collision. We're going to look at the energy change during an elastic collision. So if you scroll to the top, you'll just see a brief description of the lab with some diagrams of the equipment. You've got the air track providing a zero friction surface for the gliders. And on the right, you can see that the one glider will be coming in from the left and the other one will be out there on the right, whether or not they've sort of collided and bounced already. And then you've got a guideline. We're going to be clicking on the upper right corner of the selected glider, and you can calculate the kinetic energy of each glider before and after the collision. Remember, kinetic energy is half of the mass times the square of the speed. So if the speed was 10 meters per second, that would be 10 squared is 100. If the mass was 10 kilograms, half of that is 5. And so you can do 500 joules would be the 10 kilogram mass moving at 10 meters per second in terms of the calculation of kinetic energy. That's not going to be super hard for you guys to do, so just follow along with that once you need to do that in your analysis on the explain page. Let's now go through the process of doing the actual lab, the measuring. So how does kinetic energy change during elastic collision? Well, we've got three options for hypotheses we can test, or if you're in a more advanced class, write your own hypothesis. I'm just going to click one of them to show you that's how it works. It goes into the box right there. And then we've got 6 different experiments we can run. Let's just take one in particular. Here's the first one. Pressing play, we're going to have that red glider come in and bounce off the yellow glider. Now, it came in pretty fast. The bounce happened pretty quickly. Let's see if we can follow along and do the measuring. It says click on the upper right corner of the selected glider. We picked the left one, so I'm just going to go right here. And it looks like every 1/10 of a second or every 100 milliseconds, we're going to measure the position of that glider. You can easily calculate speed, right, which is change in position divided by change in time if you'd like. And that'll get you an idea of the incoming kinetic energy, right? 1/2 mass times speed squared. Then once the collision's happened, after the collision, you're going to calculate speed again. So this second area, you can calculate the speed here, figure out what the kinetic energy is in that next section, and then compare it, add it with the kinetic energy before and after of that small outgoing glider. Once you've done your measuring, you can either reset to redo it if you don't like how you clicked, or you can press save. It's going to get up here into this menu. You're going to see that first red graph that I've created. So figure out a little more about how kinetic energy works in elastic collision in this Smart Science elastic collision with changing mass lab.